Hello. My name is Fernando Dolores, and welcome to the course Hacking the Human Body, the 30 Days Guide. Well, what is this course about? Basically, what I built with this course is how to optimize your weight. But hacking the human body is not just about lose weight. It's more than that. It's optimize your entire life. The weight is just one part of it. So let me first show you what you will learn in this section of optimize your weight. And basically the content is learn how to lose fat without supplements and exercise. Exercise is optional, and if you make exercise, you have to know that decide if you will make it for enjoy or to get a specific goal. You will learn that to eat correctly, eat 12,000 calories and keep thin, tracking, and the role of your mind to get all of your goals. I will show you some supplements that are scientifically proven, and I have self-test. All are natural, and we will decode and deconstruct how works each of one of them. I will teach you the 80% rule. I will talk about the actual nutrition and the actual food. What's the roles which plays each of one of them, and how keep healthy, and much more. So I want to give you the welcome to the course, and I'm really glad of it. Hi. So I want to tell you who I am, and I will talk a bit about me. I am a blogger at the 30 Days Guide blog, and I'm an instructor at Udemy with more than 2,000. By the moment, right now it's more than 4,000. And well, I write some articles in the blog about how to get specific goals in 30 days and how to start. As a curious, did you know that for learn anything, you just need 20 hours? If you read the book, the 20 hours, I remember the exact name, I will tell you, Josh Kaufman. He says that for learn any specific thing, a skill, you just need 20 hours, or practicing 40 minutes per day, you just need 30 days. So I inspired in that, I created the blog. I'm not an expert, but this course is based on research and specific resources. So I will give you all the reference, the information. This actually took me more than 3 months of research and self-test. The self-test, it took me more than 1 year, and to get my goal of to optimize my weight. And I will share with you all this information. This research is scientific. It's not nothing about motivational. Okay, I'm here to help you, and I want to ask you a favor. If you got some results, please send me your feedback, and this course always will be better. Hi. Now let's talk about how to trick your mind. Actually, your mind plays a big role here. This is not motivational. I just want to help you to understand your mind, and makes that your mind plays to your favor or our favor. So I will mention that we will see the first thing is talk about our minds, and let's understand how works our psychology and plays our favor. Learn that without a clear goal, it's not possible to achieve it, and that you are the first person easy to fool. So, saying that, let's begin Motivation 101. Hi, welcome to Motivation 101. The first thing I will show you is about SMART goals. This impacted a lot in my life. When I discover what it means a SMART goal, not just a goal, it was terrific. For example, a SMART goal means specific, which be targeted, measurable, how you measure your goal, kilos, pounds, kilometers, assignable, who will do it, realistic, and time related, when it's going to finish. So basically you have to define your goals and try to put in those a SMART definition, and when you define it, you have to try to land it on a daily basis or weekly basis, etc. An example of a SMART goal could be the typical I want to lose weight. That's not smart, that's not direct, that's not clear. A SMART goal could be I want to lose 8 pounds this month, I want to lose 30 pounds this year, and after that, as I mentioned, land it and started tracking, for example, 2 pounds per week if you decide to lose 8 pounds this month. After that, I will share you some tools. You can use some tools to track your goals. For example, Strava for running and cycling, MyFitnessPal for count calories, CoachMe for social reinforcement, and DietBet, where you can make a bet of money and see who wins and take all the money. Some tips. Something important that I recommend you is surround yourself with people with similar goals with you, your neighbors, your people of your work, etc. This, until it's a personal decision, it will be more hard to quit to your goal if you're surrounded with people with similar goals. This is just social reinforcement, right? And it will, plus this, try to join a Facebook group or start one. Now you know that not necessarily we are physically, so we can join by Facebook. That this will makes that you be more committed with your goal and show it. And try to follow people on Instagram or Facebook. For example, Gym Motivation. People start small at the beginning. Hi. Now let's talk about willpower. Well, willpower basically, according to the American Psychological Association, is the ability to resist short-term temptation in order to meet long-term goals. Actually, it's not related with self-control. It's more related with glucose. So this means that it's more related with the physiology more than with the psychology. What is the important things that you need to know? So we, on a daily basis, we have just a limited quantity of willpower. So try to use it correctly. Try to show to a better effective way to use your willpower is change your environment. For example, don't eat ice cream. If you don't want to eat ice cream, you gotta remove it, or eat more vegetable. You gotta put it from you. That's where willpower is better, because willpower is not about psychology. It's not about resist temptations. So some tips: just try to focus. And for example, for internet, you can use self-control app. For distraction, Facebook news feeds eradicator. For get your goals, you can use the extension Chrome extension Momentum. And the most important, social reinforcement, which is try to tell everybody, you don't need to resist the temptation. Willpower doesn't work like that. It works with the physiology. So try to change your environment. Now let's talk about habits. But what is a habit? Actually, habits are regular action that support us. We are repeated over and over again. Habits require willpower. Then, as you know, your willpower is limited, so you have to prioritize your habit. The power of habits is so powerful that faster we acquire a habit, we can lose it. Okay? It's really, really powerful. You can acquire a habit for read, for example. Surround your books and start read. But stop again, you can lose your habit immediately. Then, how fast we can lose a bad habit, we can fall back into that bad habit. Okay? Not just good ones, bad ones. How install good habits? Well, to install a habit and not just be, remember, habit is something that you do it for a long period of time. You have to make it sustainable. Alright? For example, if you want to make sustainable, this is not big diet. This should be a way of eating. You have to eat that for a long period of time. So just you, for example, can try to replace tasty bad food with tasty healthy food, right? You're eating the same, you're enjoying the food, but you eat more healthy. And one important tip is install one habit at a time. That's really important for you. Some tools and tricks, and you have to reinforce your behavior with tracking. That's important to build a good and solid habit. Gotta use, for example, a calendar, Coach Me, a journal, and for erase bad habit, try to erase all related with your one. Hi, now let's talk about overwhelming. And did you know that President Obama usually wear dark suits? Maybe you're reading in Fast Company. I will give you the related link. Actually, this is because the president used a productivity tool, which the result of this is a reduced overwhelming, and he forgot about what suit he will use, and this makes that he takes more important decisions, like save the country or whatever. So the good news is you can replicate it. The goal in this is try to keep it simple as possible. What is the self-overwhelm? If you have too many choices, you have the sense of overwhelm, and eventually you probably could quit to something what you want to do, own choice. Some example, for example, if you wanna, you feel overwhelmed to what diet, what recipe you will cook, eventually you quit and started cake. If you have many options or exercise, finally you watch TV. So try to keep it simple. And you know that your mental energy is limited. This is related with willpower. Some tips: try to keep it simple as possible. Automate your decisions. For example, a list of meals and repeat it for every week. Try to not deliberate what movie we will see, or etc. What we want to watch. This makes that you probably eventually can quit to the thing that you want to do. Some routine is better. Most successful athletes actually eat the same meal over and over again. And remember the trick of the President Obama, the monument of truth. So, I want to mention something before. In 2014, 1 year ago, I was 170 pounds, or I'm not sure if this is exactly conversion, but I was 85 kilos. I was struggling with that, so I decided more how to find a way to get to lose my body fat, my weight, because I feel real bad out with my body, not physically, but then well, I work with different methods. I would work with different things, and what I'm looking for is trying to getting results in short time, not and make it sustainable. That's my specific goal. So talking about goals, my goals is get 130 pounds and get 10 to 15% of body fat, and the most important is stay there and make it sustainable is key. So how we're gonna do it? We want to learn methods to lose fat. We are going to discover what works and what doesn't, discover some tools and tips, and get some result more fast. What is important in this? And remember that it took me too much time learn these methods and apply them correctly. So I'm going to give you just what thing works more than what doesn't work. So I hope you'll be ready, because we're going to start right now. Hi, welcome to Measure and Track. I want to tell you what we talk about in the previous lectures. We speak about SMART goals. We talk about how to define your SMART goals. The most important for achieve your goals is tracking. Remember that make a small and positive improvements, and like baby steps, starting small, and reinforce your commitment. Trying to surround yourself with people with the same goal. Then we talk about some apps for tracking, like Strava for running and cycling, MyFitnessPal for calories and micronutrients. Now for your for measure your own body, you need to measure basically three things: your body fat, which could be measured with a body fat monitor, and a weighing scale, which is optional. Actually, you have to know that bioelectrical impedance is the most that I use, for example, and is cheaper. You can buy it on Amazon, and this is sensitive to hydration, and for that you have to drink 400 or 500 milliliters of water 30 minutes before to measure your body fat. After that, you have to measure your total inches, which is the size of your hips, the weights, your arms and your legs, and you summarize all of them, and your weight is optional. Your intakes, for this I recommend MyFitnessPal to try your calorie intake, and I will share with you some information of calories and protein. Now let's see how measure your calories. In this lecture, I want to show you to measure the calories and measure the calorie intake, which is very simple actually. The first thing that I want to tell you is that you don't have to think that count calories is hard. It's really easy, and it helps because you will realize this exercise it's very helpful to understand what actually you're eating. So the first tips that I want to give you is you have to estimate the weight of your food. You can use your own spoon and try to use, for example, a pattern, 100 grams for something, and try to estimate the weight. This doesn't need to be exactly. I will share with you some table of macronutrients in a document, and just in case, you can add 10% more of your estimations. This is basically the metrics of foods: calorie, proteins, carbs, sugar, and fat. And I will show you how to deconstruct your meals. You can use a camera, for example, take a picture to your meal, and that's it. So you can deconstruct from the picture, estimating the broccoli, for example, the chicken. This is a pattern of calories for each 100 grams, and the weight of your food that you estimate. Then you got, from the weight and calories, you got all the calories that you eat. This is the table of weight with micronutrients that I will share with you. Hi, now let's talk about 4 basic rules for fat loss. So the general rules, actually you can use them together or separately, but if you use them separately, you have to use them with a combining with a specific method that I will share with you in the next lectures. The rule number 1, if in case that you are 25% body fat, I will recommend you make exercise. For example, 30 minutes per week, for example, is great. On order, I will suggest you the tip that if you make workouts of muscle, you can, after that, you have to make cardio to reduce your muscle injuries and avoid the lactic acid. After that, number 2 rule, you have to replace your fat for more omega-3 and omega-6 with our better good fats, and replace the carbs with more fiber, which for example can find them in apples, different foods or vegetables which have more fiber than just carbs. Number 3, alternate. It is demonstrated alternate your food intake. For example, high calories and then lower calories can improve your metabolism. I will explain detail later in the next lectures, but a simple example or a simple rule for this is eat 2 days of high calories and 3 days of low calories. And finally, the water. You have to drink at least 1 gallon per day of water. Hi, now let's talk about demystifying lies. There's a big myth inside the world of the weight loss, the industry of food and nutrition. So I want to help you to know some truths. Okay, I want to talk about sleep first of all. Actually, if you sleep less or have a less quality of sleeping, you will have problems with your weight. Why? Because if you don't sleep, a hormone of related with the stress, which is the cortisol, will increase. That increase the insulin, and the insulin is synonymous of body fat. Okay, all the time when you eat. The function of the cortisol when you have altered sleeping is increase the insulin. So you have to have the better quality or quantity. Now the sugar. Sugar actually gives you calories without give you any proteins or fats or any micronutrients. 100 grams of sugar means 390 calories and 100 grams of carbs, which this mean run to 5 miles per hour or 8 kilometers per hour for 50 minutes. Can you imagine that? You need to make that effort, and it doesn't give you any micronutrients. So it's like a sipped food or really concentrated food. Now the fat cholesterol hypothesis. People actually, according to this book, Good Calories, Bad Calories from Gary Taubes, they say that fat is not bad. Instead of that, actually is necessary. Even me, and before make this research, I thought that actually fat was really bad, because I related with heart diseases or obesity, or as the author says that the fat or dietary fat, if it's saturated or not, this actually causes obesity, which the author says that is not true. The chronic disease of obesity is related with other things, and that came the myths about carbs. Actually, is the carbs that he says that cause these diseases. These stimulate the insulin secretion, and the carbs cause obesity. Now I will share with you how to get 10% of body fat. And basically, in the last 15 days, I lose between 6 and 7 pounds, actually 7 pounds, and I was with 70 kilos or 154 pounds and 23.7, and I get to 67 kilos and 22.1% of body fat. That was for me a goal, because I basically set a goal which was 7 pounds, and start to measure and track during every day. I gain weight, lose weight. That was, but the measure during my training and eating was the key. Now let's talk about the experiment of calorie intake, part 1, that I took there for 10 days. And basically this experiment makes that I lose, I started with 68.5 kilos and get 67.6 kilos, and lose 0.4% of body fat. Actually, this hypothesis is related with calorie intake, which says that if you eat less calories than you burn, you will lose weight. This is a hypothesis, and basically I tested. What I used actually in this experiment was use the calorie counter, MyFitnessPal, and basically I test the first law of thermodynamics, which is is based on the concept of calorie deficit. And I want to warn you or tell you that I will explain in the next lecture that something that is refuse the calorie intake hypothesis, because it says that actually a calorie is not a calorie. This is a bit controversial, but I want to show you all the information, and you can take your own decision, because there is a lot of information about this topic, and I want to demystify and understand step by step every one of them. So energetically, what this theory says is that your body can difference between the kind of food that you eat. You can eat a hamburger, you can eat anything. Even there's a professor, Mark Hoff, who eats just Twinkies and loses 27 pounds in just 10 weeks. I will give you the link if you can read it. But even this experiment took me 10 days. Actually, I have to mention that micro and micronutrients actually matter and are important. That just difference the micro or the calories actually. So this is basically what I did, and I will explain you in the next lecture. And as I repeat, the calories intake is the key, and this is what we basically test for this hypothesis. So let's keep talking about the experiment of calorie intake. This is the part 2, and I will explain you how I replicate this experiment. So basically, the calorie intake can change in every person. It's different for every person, not the same for everybody. So for this experiment, what I did was find out what was my TDEE. And what is that? Actually, the TDEE which is total daily energy expenditure, is how many calories you burn every day. I will show you how to do this. To calculate your TDEE, you basically according to your body weight, according to your age, if you're female or male, and different personal questions according to your physical activity. You can calculate or measure your TDEE. So you can go to this website. I will give you the URL, and in my case was eating 1,856 calories per day. So basically, when I have that number, I follow according to different research for the calorie reduced calories hypothesis, the 80% rule, which is basically reduce to your calorie intake to the 80% of that, and make it sustainable to lose weight. Then what I did was reduce it to 1,484 calories, or I set 5,100, and I started tracking in MyFitnessPal. Then what I eat, basically, there are no restrictions for eating. Actually, you can eat everything, so even Twinkies. But I will explain you why a calorie is not a calorie, as I repeated in the last lecture. Why not? I will explain you in the next lecture. This is very important. So eat a Pepsi or a Coke is not the same that eat almonds, 100 grams of almonds. I will explain you why this is important, and why, because I want that you don't just lose weight. I want that you have a sustainable diet and nutrition. Okay, so as I mentioned, if you want to test this, you got to be careful with the micronutrients, eating proteins, basically, because if you lose muscle can be. Now let's talk about the low carbs theory or hypothesis. This is the part number 1. And before said what is this method about, I want to mention that this was introduced to me by the author of the blog of the author Timothy Ferriss, which is the author of the 4-Hour Body, and is based on the cyclical ketogenic diet. And I will explain what exactly is a cyclical ketogenic diet in some other lectures or other sections of this course. So basically, this is the ABC or simple rules of that diet. And basically, what is about is reduce your carbs, or reduce your carbs intakes, or the carbohydrates. That actually will reduce your body fat. So basically, this is based on 5 rules, and I will show you the 5 and explain all of them. The rule number 1 actually is, and the most important, is avoid the white carbs. And what that means, avoid the white carbs actually is about all the carbohydrates that make you increase your body fat, or the conversion and throughout the insulin in fat. So if you have to reduce your carbs, but just one exception is if you make workout training within 1 hour or 30 to 1 hour before you start to eat your carbs. All right. So if unless you make a workout, try to avoid white carbs, which are bread, cereal, rice, which this include the brown rice. Okay, don't think that it even has a lot of fiber, but try to avoid it. Tortillas and potatoes, pasta, and any fried with breading. All right, because even chicken fried it with breading is contain carbs. The number 2 rule is related with eat the same meal. Actually, as we explained in the Overwhelm lecture, you have to eat the same meal over and over again, which contain proteins, legumes, and vegetables. This basically contains the chicken, grass-fed organic beef, porks, for legumes, lentils, beans, and vegetable spinach, which is the most important. Alright, I will give you the complete list. This is a related link for this. Let's talk about the low carbs hypothesis. This is the part number 2. And we keep talking about the low carbs, which actually in the previous lecture we talked about was the first intention was reduce the carbs. This is the number 3 rule, which is about avoid drink calories. What is this basically? Avoid not just the white carbs, also other sugar beverage, because sugar contains sugar which converts in fructose, or throughout the insulin can be body fat. So try to avoid sugar beverage. You can drink water, just water, or drink water, tea, low sweetened tea, for example. Avoid milk, even soy milk with cream. Try to avoid soft drinks, even fruit juice, or zero sugar or zero diet. Even just if you feel the sweet, try to avoid it. All right, because aspartame, which actually this kind of beverage contains, or soda, or cokes, or soft drinks contains, actually there are several studies that demonstrate that aspartame, which is the one of the pieces of that soft drink, can stimulate your weight gain. You become more fat. So try to avoid that zero calories, or zero whatever. Try to avoid fruit, and maybe this was for me, even when I started research about this, the most controversial rule. And because fruits, I mean, my parents and everybody I hear that have to try to eat vegetables and fruits, but actually the sugar contains fructose, and even is in the fruits. You have to avoid it, or try to avoid it, because it has glycerol phosphate, which converts in triglyceride in the liver and makes fat storage. All right. So try to don't eat fruits. You can make it this simple rule that authors gives for 6 days. Try to avoid it, and the 7th day you can eat as much as you can. Even it's not mandatory. But a exception could be tomatoes and avocados, which are contains antioxidants and different important micro and micronutrients. The number 5 rule, which is more fun, is take 1 day off and eat whatever you want. This is very great for me. Now let's talk about one specific method, which is the hypothesis about how boost your metabolism. But first of all, we need to know what actually is the process of metabolism. After a research that I did, I found different concepts, like the ATP, or the anabolism, which is a biochemical process. But basically, the metabolism is how your body converts the food that you eat into energy. Okay, and can be performed. It's if you eat a lot and a big part of that is converted in energy, you have a great metabolism. It doesn't, you don't. Okay, so something else about the metabolism: when we are young, we have a specific metabolism, and we eat, and then we start to move, and our muscles start to store that energy. But with the age, when we are more older, we start to lose that ability. All right. Then, because with age we start to lose muscle, then we start to storage as fat. Some research says that if we since 30 years our metabolism slowed down 5% every 5 years. So you will start to storage more than produce energy. Okay. What factors can make reduce the metabolism? One of them, and most important, as the crash calorie restricted. If you stop to eat immediately, your metabolism will slow down. Why? Because your body starts to think, okay, if you restrict your food intake, your body will think, okay, there is no more food. Then I will slow down the metabolism and try to storage as much as I can because there is no food available. Alright? That means that when you eat, you will storage as much as possible and convert it to energy. That's why if you make a restricted calorie, you will get fat. So the hypothesis says that you can increase your metabolism and the capability can make in one. The second part of the hypothesis of boosting metabolism. And the previous lecture we talked about the ATP, what is the process of the metabolism, is a biochemical process, and we lose this metabolism with age. Now the hypothesis of boosting metabolism or increasing, it works with five basic steps, which are reduced in 5: measure, reduce, proteins, eat more, and water, or MRPEW, which is a bit tricky, the name. But well, I will explain each of one of these rules or steps to boost your metabolism. The step number 1 obviously is measure, and is measure your current metabolism, which is use a calculator of metabolism, which I will share with you. It is it's basically measure your height and your sex, your female or male, what's your weight and your age, and gives you, in my case, my basal metabolism was 1500, and basically is the number of calories what my body usually burns. This is what was when I was 135 pounds. Well, it was less weight, but gives me 1500. The number 2 rule is reduce it. Basically reduce between 15 or 100 calories per day. It's not good idea. Cut it drastically, or your body will start to get panics, or which is a state of starvation. When you're starvation mode, tell your body to slow your metabolism, because your body start to think that there is no more food available, that you're lost in the jungle, or you're in a place that there is no more food, and your body start to storage it all to prevent that you die. The number 3 step is the proteins. Try to add some protein to your diet, then you will start to burn more calories than if you're eating carbs. Okay, so try to replace the carbs for proteins. That's the number 4 rule. So remember, number 2 was the starvation. Number 1 was measured. Number 2 is reduce. Number 3, proteins. Number 4 actually is the best. Eat more. Basically, the eat more, it means for eat more times per day. You can eat the usually 3 meals, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and please don't eat after 8 p.m. when your more than metabolism, your insulin start to decrease. Then if you eat, you will start to storage it all. Try to eat 2 snacks. You can eat pistachios, are more healthy, and this will tell your body that has enough food, reducing the calories, telling that there is no problem, you have available sources of food, but reducing little by little. And then last part is water. Try to drink more than at least 3 times of per day of water, or if you can, more water. Water is really healthy and helps you to get more fit. Now I want to share with you the cold therapy, the part number 1. And basically the cold therapy is a therapy that I found really interesting a couple months ago, and I started to testing it myself, and with really interesting results, and well, I will show you and share with you all the information, and you can replicate it. Basically, this hypothesis mentioned that you can manipulate the temperature of your environment, of your body, and start to weight loss. This is the principle of this hypothesis. And maybe for get some insights, I will tell you some things that are real interesting. For example, did you know that Michael Phelps eats in average 12,000 calories per day? There is a note that I will share with you at the last slide, which mentions this interesting thing. The athletes actually spend hours, or athletes which swim, spend hours and hours in water, and they lose heat from his body of the water, because the water is more conductive than air, even like 20 to 25 times more. So they start to burn calories to maintain the core temperature, which should be 37 degrees Celsius or 98 Fahrenheit. So this is the principle, which actually is the temperature reduced. One important and interesting and case study is from Ray Cronise, which was a NASA former, which has 230 pounds and get to 182 pounds using this technique. He started to manipulate his body temperature and start to losing weight. I will show you how he did it. He used the usual methods, but actually he increases this speed of weight loss, starting to decreasing the temperature of his environment on his body. He lost 21 pounds, and the results were really interesting. He go beyond than just the theory of, or just the theory who says that just reducing temperature. Even he takes nitrogen baths, cold baths, and really interesting. I will share with you. Now I want to share with you the cold therapy, the part number 1. And basically the cold therapy is a therapy that I found really interesting a couple months ago, and I started to testing it myself, and with really interesting results, and well, I will show you and share with you all the information, and you can replicate it. Basically, this hypothesis mentioned that you can manipulate the temperature of your environment, of your body, and start to weight loss. This is the principle of this hypothesis. And maybe for get some insights, I will tell you some things that are real interesting. For example, did you know that Michael Phelps eats in average 12,000 calories per day? There is a note that I will share with you at the last slide, which mentions this interesting thing. The athletes actually spend hours, or athletes which swim, spend hours and hours in water, and they lose heat from his body of the water, because the water is more conductive than air, even like 20 to 25 times more. So they start to burn calories to maintain the core temperature, which should be 37 degrees Celsius degrees or 98 Fahrenheit. So this is the principle, which actually is the temperature reduced. One important and interesting and case study is from Ray Cronise, which was a NASA former which has 230 pounds and get to 182 pounds using this technique. He started to manipulate his body temperature and start to losing weight. I will show you how he did it. He used the usual methods, but actually he increases this speed of weight loss, starting to decrease in the temperature of his environment and his body. He lost 21 pounds, and the results were really interesting. He go beyond than just the theory of, or just the theory who says that just reducing temperature. Even he takes nitrogen baths, cold baths, and really interesting. I will share with you. Now let's talk about some supplements to fat loss or optimize your weight. The first thing that I want to mention is that I self-test the supplements, different nutrients, and before releasing and share with you. But I recommend you, as at the beginning of the course, talk with your doctor. It's really important that. So I want to share you the green tea, which the specific name, the scientific name is Camellia sinensis. I personally, as I mentioned, tested to weight loss, but actually when I make the research of the green tea, the scientific research papers, scholar papers, I found that it has more than properties to lose weight. Some general benefits, and that most important for me that I found after to research, is that causes increase in plasma antioxidant power in humans, because actually the green tea contains polyphenolic antioxidants. These are anti-cancer, has shown or have anti-cancerogenic properties. So remember that a synonym of antioxidant is less risk of cancer. That's the simple thing that you need to know. And that has 4 times less of caffeine than coffee, so you can drink it without any problem. I drink it every day at the beginning, in the morning, and after lunch, and it gives me really great benefits in my mind, even because it boosts your is better than Red Bull or other soft drinks that has the same properties. For weight loss, the green tea is important because it contains a ECCG. I don't want to spell that. Actually, this basically boosts your metabolism. We talk about metabolism, so this increases it. So it's really great for that. And in one scientific study, I will share with you, men who took green tea during the exercise burned 70% more than who didn't. Okay, this is scientifically proven. And some systems on green tea actually increase the hormones that makes the fat cells to break down into fat, or breaks down and make it available as energy, or start burn fat naturally. This is the best part of the green tea, helping us to weight loss. So it has a big properties. There is no reason to don't start to drink it, and I am still continuing researching. So the conclusion is that several green tea can boost the fat burning effects on exercise.